Is it 127, right? 127. I'm unprepared as usual in regards to numbers.
My voice
You
is
don't know.
back to full HD. You can hear me loud and clear, and no
Yeah.
more frustrating technical issues, at least on my end.
I did enjoy being the good sounding one for once. Last episode.
Yeah, I wanted to make you feel a little better, so that's what I did, just for you.
It is 127. I'm vindicated in my memory. How was your Easter?
Not too bad. Parents out of town, so I didn't do any sort of family dinner. On Easter Sunday, I went out to Indian buffet
Church,
with a couple of my friends
right?
for lunch.
Turmeric. How was that?
It was delicious. It's very good.
I've never seen anybody inside whenever I go by, and I've never heard anybody say anything about it. So it
Well,
seems like a big space.
yeah, it's not that big when you get in there.
Okay.
And I wouldn't say it was, I mean, for a Sunday afternoon, I think there was maybe 7 tables or something that were full.
Easter Sunday.
Yeah. And I think they only have maybe about 20 to 25 tables. That was decently, wasn't empty.
But it's buffet style.
Yeah, you don't have to do buffet. That's just a thing that they offer during the lunch hours. That's what we did. Buffet.
You guys talk about the podcast?
No, I wouldn't be surprised if those two don't even know I have one.
You're doing a poor job.
I know, but sometimes I tell people I have one, and then you can tell that they've gone home and listened, and they come back and they've become like a changed person, but not necessarily in a good way. And then I'm just like, maybe I'll just let them figure it out naturally. Let perhaps the people that do listen and enjoy the podcast tell them on my behalf. Sometimes that happens.
I think if you listen to a podcast and you come out, this one anyways, and you come out with a negative thinking on the host, that's insane because you're just yourself, being yourself. We don't talk about anything weird.
That's true. Although sometimes we talk about really obscure movies that, well, I mean, not really obscure movies, but sometimes we talk about movies that most people haven't seen. So I feel like it's probably tough to listen to an episode where people talk about a movie you haven't seen. But I think that gives us good, explore, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess explorability, or you could find us in that way. Like, oh, I just sat down and watched Dr. Riddle and the Gloom Beam or whatever.
Dr. Otto and the Riddle Moonbeam.
That's the one. And then you'd be like, I wonder if anyone's talked about that before. And boom, this podcast has talked about that movie. I gotta listen to it now.
Yeah, that's true. I think we're unapologetically ourselves. We're not gonna watch whatever movie won Best Picture and talk about it because that's not us. We're obscure VHS films from the 1980s and beyond.
Yeah,
we have a good time when it works.
100% we do. Yeah, right now 100%. It's working great. I don't want to jinx it, but
yeah, it's like an 8 out of 10 right now. Sure.
Yep.
You see any movies recently?
No, just this one. Although I've been very interested in that movie, Sinners.
Have you heard about that one? Michael T. Jordan.
Yeah.
Is that his name? Creed?
Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
Michael T. Jordan.
Yeah.
Different guy.
Yeah, you're thinking of Craig T. Nelson. But yeah, that's piqued my interest. I might go see that. beyond that, no. What about you?
Speaking of Craig T. Nelson, he was in a show called Parenthood, which is on Netflix now. Another show on Netflix that we watched basically in one go this weekend was Love on the Spectrum. You ever heard of Love on the Spectrum?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have Netflix?
I think I've lost you.
Do you have Netflix?
Oh, I heard you for a
Netflix?
brief moment. I think you asked me if I have Netflix.
Netflix.
I have access to Netflix, but I don't watch anything on Netflix. I have Disney Plus. Don't really watch much on there either. As we've established, I'm not a TV guy. Oh, hey, Josh, you're back. Is that what you asked me? If I watch things on Netflix?
If you have Netflix, yeah. You jinxed it there. Well, if you've been on Netflix recently, you would have seen that season 3 of Love on the Spectrum came out. And we watched that. And I haven't seen season 1 or 2. But season 3 is a very, very heartwarming film TV show.
Film TV show. Now, is that's something you don't need to have watched the first 2 seasons to enjoy? I don't know what that show is.
It's a show for people on the spectrum. They're trying to find love.
Oh, I may have seen some clips from that.
Probably.
Okay.
It's very funny.
That's cool.
Yeah, good. Because we finished a show called The Pit. I'm sure many of our listeners have heard of The Pit. It's a medical show starring the guy from ER. One of the guys from ER.
George Clooney?
No. Noah Wiley. He was the intern. Young guy.
Okay.
But yeah, medical drama called The Pit, which is a pretty realistic day in the life of a doctor or nurse. But it was pretty heavy, so sprinkled in a little love. Yeah, there you go.
That's smart.
Yeah,
we a little negative, a little positive.
Considering the film that we watched this week, which I haven't said yet, Killer Klowns from Outer Space, our names today have nothing to do with the clowns themselves, but an important part of. You look confused.
I'm just curious where this is going.
Okay, well, your name is Pooh Bear the Dog Dies.
Oh, you mean our names down on here? I see.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can't see where mine goes, but Farmer really loved his dog, which was just a brief moment in the film, but very powerful.
Yes, obviously. I like that as a dog name, Pooh Bear. It's a good dog name.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's just jump into it. Last week we did a 37-minute episode, and people loved it. The people commented on 2 different things, and one of them was they loved how you sounded, and the second one was they loved the bite-sized episode of Your Mother May Die, the podcast during Josh and Jesse. So we can speedrun this one as well. There is other stuff I want to talk about after.
Okay. Including, I hope, our Jeopardy questions.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's true. That's true.
Good.
Here, speaking of doctor shows, category not so good guys.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't looked at these yet. In 2002, a doctor in Massachusetts, big word, left a spinal surgery to go to one of these. That's not what the FDIC insurance is for. A doctor in Massachusetts, not so good guys is the category, left a spinal surgery to go to one of these. If I had to guess, it'd be like a sporting event. But
left to go. What was the wording? To go to one of these?
Left a spinal surgery to go to one of these. That's not what the FDIC insurance is for.
Strip club.
It's a bank. Left to go to a bank. I don't know.
Who's going to know that?
I don't know. Not so good, guys. $2,000.
Oh boy.
After a 1992 trial, obstruction and racketeering were among the charges that stuck to this Teflon Don.
Teflon Don.
That was, I guess, his
I have
nickname. His nickname, Teflon Don.
Teflon Don.
In 1992. I think he was John Travolta played him in a movie the last few years.
I don't know.
John Gotti.
Oh, Gotti. Yeah, Gotti. Gotti. Yeah. I know him.
This question is from April 20th. Happy Easter Sunday, which is also 420. American traditions. Due to wartime food concerns, the White House Easter egg roll saw its first cancellation during his administration.
This is the First World War, you said? Or second?
Doesn't say. Due to wartime food concerns, I would assume it's World War One.
If it's World War One, I'll have to say FDR then, I guess.
Woodrow Wilson. I believe FDR was World War II.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that. And that's, I think we have three or four more left. We'll just hold them for later.
Yeah, because they've gone so well, it's probably split them up, I don't want to have too much awesome in one segment of the show.
According to Black's Law Dictionary, is the category for all of them. But the last question is World of Pop Culture, so I have that to look forward to.
Yes.
Killer Klowns from Outer Space. What were you thinking? How did you see this film? How did you view it?
I watched it on my phone on the Internet Archive.
I also watched it on my phone.
Yeah, the Internet Archive. I think maybe I've seen half a dozen of our movies on that. Very high quality uploads. I don't know which.
It's legal.
Minutes.
I would assume
it's legal. Yes, it is.
Okay, good to know.
Yes, so that's how I watched it on my Fizzone. Some people say that's like the ultimate sin to watch a movie on your phone.
It was kind of a pain in the ass, yeah.
But I got to do what I got to do. It wasn't on Amazon Prime like I was promised.
It was on Amazon. It is on Amazon Prime. It's just you have to MGM Plus subscription, which I didn't realize at the time.
Yeah, they get you. They always get you. You can only start a free trial so many times.
Exactly. So, your viewing was good. How do you like the film?
Not too bad.
Yeah, not too bad.
That's for sure. Okay. Not too bad. It was better than I expected.
Sure.
And immediately right off the bat, the music was pretty sweet.
Great music. I agree.
Great music. The movie looked really good. Some of the horror movies from the 80s, they just look like absolute garbage. But this one didn't look like garbage at all.
Yeah.
And it had really good practical effects. The clowns were cool.
Yep.
And yeah, there's a list of positives and definitely a list of negatives, I would say.
Yeah, the Chiodo brothers were the ones who did the film. And they're known for their
3 Chiodo brothers. Who knew?
They're known for their special effects, I guess.
Right.
They worked on.
Oh, that would make sense.
They worked on a few different movies, like Elf, apparently. But of course, Elf came after. Practical, I guess, more practical effects, as you would have seen in The Clown, because I think at least one of them was in a clown costume. One of the brothers was the main bad clown.
I see.
They wanted to do stop motion or claymation or something like that, but it would cost too much. So they just went, I'll just be in a clown costume.
From what I understand, the budget wasn't that much. It's like $2 million or something like that. And I thought they did quite a lot with that.
None of the costumes or anything cost a lot of money. It was all like production costs went into $2 million. But the clowns were very cheap.
Well, they look good for how cheap they were, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, did like that. I would say the biggest flaw for me in this movie was
Acting.
definitely the acting. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't, and at times I went back and forth as to like, were they being really over the top and obnoxious, like on purpose? Like this was kind of the vibe they were going for, or were they just like really bad actors? I couldn't tell. Like, is it this a self-aware sort of thing going on, or are they just couldn't tell?
Bad. I think they're bad actors.
Yeah, especially that one, the guy playing Mike.
Mm-hmm. Like
Just
tobacco.
yeah, Mike Tobacco, which is weird, but everything he said was so over the top and just, man, poorly delivered. But that was kind of like the true of everyone. There was no like, I needed somebody to, I don't know, just keep things a bit grounded, just be like a normal person.
Yeah, I guess the young cop, was kind of supposed to be that,
Yeah,
but didn't really.
no, it didn't really work.
The old cop, hilarious.
Yes, I do love how untrusting these cops were.
Yeah, bad at their jobs. It's just all the kids.
All the kids.
Although I wouldn't believe clowns either.
Yeah, that's true, but like when you're sitting there at the desk and like you got like 30 lines trying to call you all at once,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that would probably tip you off, especially when it's like, oh man, my buddy from the convenience store is calling, and you know, I also like how he knew who everyone was. He just like picked up the phone, spoke to them for about 2 seconds, and put it down. It's like, oh man, I can't believe they got Mr. Johnson or
Small
whatever.
town.
I guess so. That's true. But yeah, acting distractingly bad for sure.
I do like how they got to the point pretty quickly. First scene, we saw the clowns arrive,
This is true. This is true.
and then we got to the dog thing, which was good.
Yeah, a lot of, especially remember that when we used to watch a lot of these type of movies together. Well, sometimes it took like half the movie for us to like just see the monster or the bad guy or whatever.
Yeah,
It's like let's just get to it. Let's get to the part that we actually want. So they did get to that quickly.
there was a movie we saw that I'm kind of still waiting for it to get to the good part. God told me to. It's kind of waiting for that
Yeah.
movie to.
Yeah.
I think I have to watch it again. Because I do remember being asleep for most of it. So
It's very possible. Yeah, that's a weird one. God told me to. That's a wild ending.
Yeah, this is Killer Clowns from Outer Space. On IMDb, the related movie to this is Sleepaway Camp. I remember that was a good movie.
Yep.
That had a good ending.
Yeah. Yeah, it did.
I liked this ending.
Did you?
I just liked how, well, yeah, there's a lot of action.
That's true.
It was pretty straightforward. Like it was that kind of movie. You're not going to expect a crazy ending. They
It's
had
true.
a boss. It's a boss fight.
Yeah.
Too reliant on guns. I thought earlier on, but he used a sharp pin to. The cop Dave, I think his name was supposed to die in the explosion.
Right.
Much like a young Lawrence Fishburne in that movie we watched. But test audiences didn't like that. So they let him live. Happy ending.
Thank goodness this had a happy ending. I would have really ruined it if that cop died.
Well, it would have been a different vibe, I think.
I also like how short the movie was.
88 minutes.
Good. It was very good. Although it was 88 minutes, and it didn't feel like there were not too many things happened. I don't know, like there was not that much. We didn't really find out much about the clowns, really,
No,
at
I
all.
think they were counting on sequels, which
Yeah,
hadn't come.
yeah. Um, and also I could have done with it being a bit more gory. There was a bit of lack of that.
Yeah, we got well, it wasn't gory, but we got a little bit of inside the candy.
Yeah, one guy gets his head punched off. That was pretty good.
Yeah, and I think I can't remember who it was now, but somebody didn't have their skin. Was it the farmer?
Didn't have his skin.
Like when the arm. Oh, maybe that was the
Oh
cop.
no, that was the cop. Yeah, the older cop or whatever got covered in hot pies or something. I don't remember.
Yeah, somehow
Acid
his
pie.
somehow the acid burned his skin or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Acid burns skin sometimes.
This is just a fun movie. It didn't really. I didn't expect the acting to be good, and it wasn't.
Yeah,
It's a fun
it
camping
wasn't.
movie,
Yeah,
culty, cult classicy. That's what I wanted
yeah,
when I picked it. It's a
yeah.
fun Easter movie.
I've heard of this movie for a long time and knew it as a cult classic, and I can see why it is. Sometimes people say it is, and one is, and it's like I don't get it at all, but I get it with this one.
I can see why Ryan Gosling wants to reboot it.
Yeah,
A little more modern take on it.
I could see that working.
Yeah.
Get some good actors in there. Who knows? As long as they don't make it a serious movie, like a scary horror movie. Wouldn't want that.
No, I think it'll be more. I don't know what's a funny movie he's in. More Nice Guys, less Lars and the Real Girl.
Place
So that was
Beyond
kind
the
of funny
Pines.
though.
Place Beyond the Pines isn't funny at all. So maybe that will be the not funny.
Do you know much about words?
I know some.
According to Black's Law Dictionary, again, never heard of it. It's a defamatory assertion expressed in a transitory form, especially speech. Defamatory assertion expressed in a transitory speech. This is a $200 question.
There's a lot of words that you put in that question whose category is words. I have no idea.
Defamatory assertion expressed in a transitory form. What is slander?
Okay. Yeah.
According to Black's Law Dictionary, allowed in cross-examination. Do you watch a lot of lawyer shows? Of course not. You don't watch any TV. It's a question that suggests the answer to the person being interrogated.
A leading question?
Yeah.
Yes,
In
it's good to get one.
Our last Black's Law Dictionary question. Black's Law Dictionary says it's redundant to put binding before this out-of-court form of dispute resolution. It's redundant to put the word binding before this out-of-court form of dispute resolution.
Contract?
Arbitration.
Binding arbitration. Okay.
We'll save the good one for last.
Okay. That's a good idea.
I don't know if you'll know the answer though, because you don't watch. It's a TV show question. You don't watch
I'm
TV
aware of some TV shows, but there aren't many I have seen. This is true.
Okay, then I'll just ask the question. Get it over with. So it's world of pop culture. World in quotation marks. Keep that in mind.
Okay.
Robots with a good memory for bad times append a theme park on this futuristic HBO series. World in the title.
Okay, this has Walton Goggins in it, right?
It has Walton Goggins, and it has the guy from Lassie. No, the guy from Air Bud.
The guy from Air Bud and Walton Goggins. Yeah, I know the show,
James
but
James
I have
Marsden.
I have no idea what it's called.
Well,
Something World.
Yeah, something world. Maybe think of a direction.
North World. Left World. Right World. West World.
It's Westworld, yeah.
Westworld doesn't have Walton Goggins in it.
Was he not in it?
No, I was thinking of something else. What's that show with Walton Goggins? And he's like at a fair and he sees like a hallucination of like some devil and he makes like a face. He's like, you know what I'm talking about? Anyway, doesn't matter.
He's in Fallout.
No, I wasn't thinking about that.
Have you seen? Did you watch the first season of Last of Us?
Yes.
Are you watching the second season?
I'm waiting for the second season to fully come out and then I'm going to watch it.
Good call. Yeah, we're waiting a bit because there's just so much going on. So we're holding off for a few more weeks, anyways.
Yeah. I think that's the way to do it, to be honest.
Filmed here.
Yes, indeed it was.
Here-ish.
Here-ish. It's cheaper to film in Canada, I think. Or something like that.
Nanaimo, yeah. Cheap up there. Oh, hello.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, it was an 88-minute movie. There were clowns. Not a lot of gore.
Not a lot. There was some, though.
Yeah.
So I'll take that.
There's a video game that came out pretty recently.
Yeah. I saw that.
I thought it was a good movie.
Yeah.
Considering.
Yeah. For this type of movie, it's pretty good.
Yeah. For this type, for sure. Okay, well, anything else you can think of?
I do. We talked about the music briefly, but I liked that this movie had like a song made for it.
Mm.
Like it had its own theme song. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it was great music.
One thing I thought was a little weird is they seem to have overdubbed every single line. Like the audio never matched the mouths perfectly, and it sounded like just kind of like the audio mixing in general was a little odd. But I don't know. That's a pretty small thing to nitpick, but
I don't think I noticed that.
There was a couple times like somebody's walking through the forest, and you could tell someone was just like touching leaves with their hands to make the sound of the feet, and it was like coming from the wrong. Like I could see them in the middle of the screen. I could hear it like from the left. I'm like, oh, is someone walking over off screen or something?
Mm.
I thought that was weird, but
how do you like the Terenzi brothers?
That does seem to be a thing I've noticed with 80s. The Terenzi brothers. What about the Terenzi brothers?
You talk about the thing you... Oh, okay. You
sound like a robot. I can't understand what you're saying.
Yeah, no.
But maybe I'll finish my point while I can't hear you, and I don't think anyone else can either. That 80s movies, I've noticed they always seem to like, at least with one character or maybe more, they like overdub every one of their lines. So I don't know if they had a lot of people changing their minds about the voices of the actors or something. It's like, we got to overdub it with somebody else. But it happened a lot in this movie. And I noticed. But that's fine. Because part of it is like, it makes it sound weird. Like, as you can tell somebody's like in a studio saying the lines. And based off like where they're standing, when the actor is standing, you know they wouldn't sound like that where they are. So you can hear them a little better, but it doesn't fit where they are. But that's probably a thing most people don't really care about. Oh, now it's truly just me. I lost you completely. That was alarming. That's okay. We're on the fly here, people. And like we have in other weeks, we can just have a Jesse moment. I had 2 people at work today tell me that my hair is growing quickly. I thought that was odd. Separately. I didn't really understand that. I didn't feel like my hair was growing that quickly, but I guess it was. Hey, Josh, you're back.
How do you feel about the Terenzi brothers, the ice cream truck people?
Pretty annoying. I mean, I didn't really find them funny. I think that's probably what they were supposed to be.
Yeah. Well, they're gag at the beginning with it. Just 2 girls in the truck. I didn't really understand.
Yeah. Yeah, it was weird. And they got with the female clowns. Don't really understand why that was in there.
Yeah, and they were in the ending too. They were important characters.
Yeah, it was a bit, I don't know, must have been friends of the director or something. That's my best guess.
Yeah. Okay, well, shall we get to scores?
Let's get to scores. We got to hit that 37-minute mark. It's coming up.
Okay, how do you feel about the acting? Well, we know how you feel, but out of 10.
Yeah. The acting was pretty bad. And even if it was supposed to be over the top and campy, it didn't land in that way. It just kind of wasn't funny. Just obnoxious, really. I was not a fan. And there was, I like the older cop. He was probably my favorite in terms of the actors, but even then, it wasn't that good. I don't know. And he also wasn't in it for very much. So I think I'd give acting maybe a 3. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, I give acting a 4. I did like the old man. He's been in stuff.
Yeah.
He was in important things. He just looked like he didn't care, and that's good for this film.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna smoke a cigar and read my magazine while the world is ending around me. I like the ending. We'll jump right to the ending now.
Okay.
I liked it was pretty nonstop action. It ended, but there's the clowns are dissipated, just gotta get their nose and they'll explode. But it set it up for a little bit of a sequel because these clowns appeared, but I'm sure there are other clowns somewhere. I do kind of wish the cop died.
Yeah.
But you can't win them all. I'm going to give the ending a 7 out of 10.
Wow, that's not bad. I'm not too far off you, though. I'd give it a 6 out of 10. I mean, fairly satisfying ending. Lots of action. I did like that it just kind of got the point across that it wanted to get across, and there was no fucking around. It just did it. So that was good. 6.
Okay. If you had to score this movie out of 10 overall, taking into account everything we talked about, what would you give it?
I think I would give it a 6.5 out of 10. The things that it did well, like the practical effects and the music, well, it did really, really well. And I really liked that about it. And then there was sort of the unfortunate, really distractingly bad parts about it. Brought it down. If the acting was better and there's a bit more gore, I could see this easily being an 8 movie, but it was not. 6.5 out of 10 for me.
6.5 is a good score, but I'll give it a 6 out of 10. I think my expectation score was decently low, and it hit it pretty good. But yeah, just a good fun film. 6 out of 10. Yeah. Trying to reconnect, but there we go. You hear any of that?
Yeah. Very little, but I got the gist. I was going to ask you to repeat your score, but you did just then, so I did. I thought for a second you might have said 7, but you said 6 out of 10. But yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I was gonna 6.5 is good, but 6. This isn't a 7. This is a 6.
Okay. Yeah, I think you're right. Well, not quite right
Um,
enough.
s- so the last few weeks, like my internet has been great. I moved over here. We've changed the setup, but
Yeah.
this weekend we had a guest in this room, and so I had to kind of move stuff around, and that included my internet thing,
Mm-hmm.
my strengthener, um, and so now it's not doing so well.
Right.
I
That's
hate it.
okay.
Yeah. Okay. What film are we doing next time?
I have a bunch of movies saved that I want to get to eventually, and I just found a picture of one that I forgot that I had saved,
Mm-hmm.
and I really don't think I should pick this one, but I'm not going to pick it.
Okay.
And maybe I will in the future, but the movie was called, this is not the movie, folks, just to be clear, Private Valentine, Blonde and Dangerous. Had Jessica Simpson in it. I'm not picking that one. I think I'm going to go with The City of Lost Children.
The Children of Men.
City of Lost Children. It's the same director who did Delicatessen. And it has,
Uh-huh.
there's a crossover between some of the actors. I know that for sure. But it's also got Ron Perlman.
Got Hellboy in it?
This guy Hellboy in it. So, it looks weird. Just like Delicatessen was pretty weird. And I remember liking that movie. So, I think this might be the first time, don't quote me on this, repeat director on the podcast.
You think that we, in 127 episodes, haven't had... I mean, I know we've had the same director.
Oh, you know it, do you? Well, tell
The
me which
Coen
one.
brothers?
We've done more than one Coen Brothers movie? I mean, I guess we
Yeah.
did do The Lady Killers and The Man Who Wasn't There.
And we did one recently.
Yeah, we did. What was that one?
One of my movies. I can't remember. Let me look it up.
Oh! It's the one about
Oh, I have it up. A Serious Man.
The Serious Man. Yeah. That was it. Yeah, I was going to say the
City.
Jewish one.
Yeah, the Jewish one. See also Dark City. The City of Lost Children. Yeah, Ron Perlman, huh?
Yeah.
It's not on anything, so I'll have to look at the Internet Archive.
There's a good chance it'll be there. So yeah, that's what I've gone with. Sorry, Captain Valentine, Blonde and Dangerous, or whatever I said. Lieutenant Valentine, was it?
I believe it's
Captain?
private.
I'm not watching you this week, but I'll put you on the back burner and we might get to you.
I think we should implement a veto system where I can veto a Jessica Simpson film. I think a light just burned out in here.
It's because of all the energy you're giving off for this episode.
It's one of those three. It has 3 light bulbs in it, and one of them just burnt out.
Yeah.
First time in 5 years.
Hey, it's bound to happen.
It's so dark now. Anyways, I wanted to tell you about the new offers we've gotten. 2 new offers since last week. About how to grow our Instagram, at least.
Yeah.
So this one I got today. It's back.
It's back. Excellent.
This one I got from Kitu1452.
Mm-hmm.
They have 9 followers on Instagram. 8:10 a.m. Are you interested to growing your Instagram account? 100% guaranteed. So for 1,000 followers, they guarantee it's only $10.
Oh.
They can get us 20,000 for $150.
Whoa.
That's a deal. 1,000 random positive comments for $40.
Hmm.
We can get 100,000 views, I guess, on our reels for $40. Text me in my official account. It's necessary to answer quickly. We also provide services on YouTube and TikTok and other 2 exclamation marks. We have free trial 2 exclamation marks.
Wow.
I'm gonna like it. See what happens.
That's a good idea. I mean, the free trial, that's no risk. What could
No
go
risk.
wrong? You have to probably give your credit card information just as a precautionary thing on their end, but other than that, it should be fine.
Yeah. So that was on Instagram. This is on Facebook. Sunday. So it's a holiday, Easter Sunday. 3:54 a.m. from a man named Bernard Langer. Bernard Langer. Hi. Welcome to my Organics Apple Podcast and Spotify podcast promotion services. And then he just throws up a bunch of words at me. I will promoter your podcast 100% securely and organically. Organically is capitalized. Do you want to promote your Apple and Spotify podcast? I will advertise your podcast for many subscribers, boosting downloads, plays, likes, listeners, reviews, Spotify streaming, Spotify downloads, Spotify plays, boosting followers, and ratings. 100% manual work, money back guarantees. If I get 1,700 downloads per day, 1,700 per day, we haven't done 1,700 in our lifetime.
In total.
And 50,000 plus downloads per month, and Spotify 1,200 plus ratings and 10 plus reviews on your podcast, you will pay me $200 per month. You agree. You see the results of my work first. I hope you will be happy with the results of my work. You will give me 50% of the dollars within 2 to 3 days, and the remaining 50% of the dollars after 2 weeks. If you give me permission, I will start your podcast promotion work from today.
That's nice.
I liked that as well, and we'll see what happens.
That's really good. I like. Do we get a lot of listens on Spotify?
Spotify is probably our most heaviest listen.
Spotify, yeah, okay.
I think that's the problem.
I like the idea of manual labor as well. I don't like 100% this
manual.
Yeah, I don't like this being automated. I don't like the idea of that, which is a problem with Holly or whatever the other one was. But this one, manual, that means I know that Bernard is doing it himself. Punching in the fingers on the, device.
Bernard. About 2 weeks ago, we did get, from Raya Roy, who says that she has tested our show. I can take your show to the top of popularity. So.
Well, this is what happens when you get as popular as us. People find you. They seek you out because they want to do business. They know that they can make money. They know they can make us money. It's a big sort of circle of money making. And quite a lot.
We can always go higher.
We can always go higher. It's a good old organic manual work. Wow.
Sorry. All that for that.
Hi, Gino. Wow. What a special treat that was.
Just hanging out. No, he's embarrassed.
Oh, Gino, it's okay,
Don't
buddy.
Leave.
He says he can't believe that you dropped the camera.
I can't do it often. Now I have to try to put it back in with one hand. This might be a good time to end the podcast. There's the ceiling. See, you can see 3 lights.
Just looks like one big solid light to me, but definitely.
No, it's not.
Okay, well, yeah. I'm happy to end it here. I think that was a really successful episode.
It's only been 14 minutes according to my timer.
Yeah. Yeah, luckily, as long as one of us stays in, we don't lose everything.
Yeah, it's probably 20% of episodes have done this.
Yeah.
That's okay.
That is okay. Coming through nice and clear now.
I'm banned from doing it in any other room of the house, so it's gotta be this one.
Yeah, that's fair. I used to do it in my computer room. This is a long time ago. But then my cat Moose would scream at the door the entire time. And it was up to my partner to prevent him from doing that. And that quickly became a no-go. So I have to be out with the cats. And now they just don't really care. They just kind of go do their own thing while I'm doing this. It's great. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool.
Anything exciting happening this week? The end of April?
No. No, not
You're
really.
off for 2 days now. You're off for 4 days now.
Yes, that's good remembering. I have to go to a baptism on Saturday, so that's exciting.
Wouldn't you baptize last weekend? Easter Sunday? That's like the whole thing?
I wasn't. It's not up to me. I wasn't in charge of picking the day of the baptism. But yeah, that's going to be happening. I don't think my cousins listen to the podcast. If you do, I'm really excited.
They wouldn't have gone this far anyways.
That's true. 46 minutes. They're a 37-minute and done sort of couple. So. Okay. Well, that's great.
Yeah, another successful episode, 127 Killer Klowns from Outer Space. Children of Lost Men coming up next week.
City of Lost Children. And if you can, also just one last thing before we're done. Try to remember the postcards this week because I'm very curious of the places that you'll see.
I can tell you that I have been looking for postcards and they're very far and few between. Few and far between.
That's the one.
Recently. I didn't see one today. I didn't see one yesterday. So, you get any check your mail recently?
Yeah, pretty recently. Why?
You get any political flyers?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, did you vote already?
No, I'm going to vote. Going to vote on Monday because our voting area on Monday is just a walk away. But the early vote we would have had to drive. So we're just going to vote on Monday.
That's very green of you.
Work. No, very, very not. We're not going to vote the Green Party.
Yeah, that's fair.
Only because I was driving to work last week
and
they were like, the Green Party was out holding their sign and like being weird in traffic. Like, this is 7:30 in the morning. Too much energy.
What a way to lose a vote right there.
Yeah. So, sorry, Ben. Better luck next time.
Yeah. Ben Kingsley Johnson or whatever his name is.
No, but he does have two last names.
Yeah, I know. Something like that. Ben Krigley Claxton or something like that.
It's like Hogan something?
Hulk. Ben Hulk Hogan.
We're just giving him a platform he didn't pay for. But you seem like a Grant Cool kind of guy.
Grant Cool. Anyway, despite the party, Grant Cool is a cool name.
Yeah, but he sent out. We had to deliver his flyers starting yesterday. And it's a picture of himself, and he's just an old guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, Grant Cool, not gonna vote for him either.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's our political talk.
Yep, political segment of the week.
I guess next week we'll know who the new prime minister is, or the same guy. So
yeah.
Okay. Sorry, this makes you uncomfortable. I understand. Okay, yeah. Thank you for listening. 127. Your mother and my dog, Josh, Jesse. See ya.
Goodbye, everyone.